I heard from my friends and my media colleagues their concerns about what's the actually the expectation, and also what's your comments about the future situation in Toronto, because there's kind of the possibility of spread of the coronavirus. So what's your anticipation about this situation, and what we supposed to do? What we can take from advice of the government?
So that's a question you're answered here. I knew you were talking about me. I just didn't know what you were saying. But anyways, thank you for asking the question. First of all, I want to once again thank and really applaud the public health officials at all three levels of government. So federally, provincially, and then our own local public health officials. I think one thing that certainly stood out for me is the level of communication and transparency and informing the public of exactly what the status is and giving updates as quickly as possible. Also reiterating the importance of the right information to the public. So I would say at the beginning, I don't fault anyone for being extra cautious, wanting to protect themselves and their families. But now that we know what we know and how the virus acts, we know that there is a very low risk to catch the virus to begin with. And then we also know that if you're healthy, and even if you do get the coronavirus, you'll have mild symptoms. And that really the most vulnerable people are elderly people and people who may have underlying health issues to begin with. And so this is why I think we need to be careful. It's a little bit about us, but it's more about the vulnerable people that are in the community, because the more of us that might get it, obviously we put more at risk those elderly people and those that may have health issues that they're already contending with. So we at the City of Markham have tried to provide information and information directly to the public. We have put signs in each of our community centers in English and in Chinese to remind the public of the normal steps, the steps that you would take during influenza season, and that is to wash our hands. I know it sounds so simple, but that's really how the virus is potentially passed on. And so we've made, number one, the signs available to the public in our community centers. We've provided for additional alcohol-based hand sanitizers, and then we've also instructed our staff to do additional cleaning, cleaning like wiping down the rails and the countertops. And so I was actually quite pleased. People thought it was odd. I didn't think it was odd at all. Was quite pleased to see the other day that a local retailer was actually wiping down all of the shopping carts, because essentially it's those what seem very simple steps really get us big results, that it prevents the spread of the virus. The other thing I want to say is I really say thank you to the people who have voluntarily come forward and identified themselves. And I know that, again, you think it's a very simple step, but you're not only helping yourself by coming forward, again, you're preventing the spread of the virus to people in your family, to friends, to colleagues at work, and to others in the community. So it's not easy, because you know, when you kind of get identified and people know who you are, maybe it isn't easy for people, but it is the responsible thing to do. Because one, you can be monitored, and if anything really progresses, you can be helped. And secondly, and almost as importantly, you prevent the spread of the virus to others. So we have, all of us, have continued to encourage people to go out and enjoy the beautiful restaurants that we have, to shop, and to do the things that we normally do. That being said, do not dismiss these very simple things that we're asking people to do. You know, because it's not something that you have to go to a doctor or, at this point get a vaccine, or do people sometimes think, well, why would I bother doing those simple things? But as I said, those simple steps get us big gains. And I would just say that, we're probably going to see some more cases, but again, to keep things in perspective, that those that would get the coronavirus would get mild symptoms. Those that are more vulnerable are elderly people and those that have health issues. And that, again, compared to even influenza, there are thousands, way more thousands of people that are impacted by influenza, and we see a healthcare system when that happens that does get strained from time to time. So, when you have way more people coming through the healthcare system, but I have to say, I have want to reiterate how successful I think the communication has been, and certainly I think we've all seen how hospitals have prepared themselves in case there are more cases. But I think if we all take these steps and are committed to taking those steps, and carry, I know now it's becoming a bit more challenging to find the hand sanitizers, but carry the hand sanitizers with you. Because realistic, I know we're saying wash your hands, but right now we're all together. I know we've accidentally, shaken a few hands. Some of us have given us the fist bumps. Realistically, we're not all going to go to the washroom right now and wash our hands. So carry the hand sanitizer with you. And again, just as those precautions so that we're not aiding and abetting the spread of the virus. So always have this with you. And again, it's those simple steps that go a very long way. So thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay. So, actually, our chairman would like to offer you 2 boxes of sanitizer. Okay. 那么刚才我们市长说了哈 ，so I just briefly translate what you said. 那么刚才市长说了呢，第一呢，我们会政府会保持信息的及时和透明，同时呢，也希望大家不要对病毒过于恐惧，但也要采取必要的措施。For example, rub your hands with the sanitizer, change the way of greeting. 我们见面的时候 ，instead of shake hands with each other, we just kind of do this, right? What does this called? Yeah. Okay. So, 我们的何武景议员有话要说。然后刚才我们的杨奇信员马上拿出了我的 sanitizer.
Well, I just want to, say one thing. It's, so important because, today is March the 3rd. As a matter of fact, in China, starting from March 1st, they have a regulation saying that if somebody, is spreading fake news, they will be held responsible. So, we all realize that, in WeChat, we have a lot of fake news. Don't copy and paste because, if you happen, to go back to China and you get caught, you'll be in big trouble. So this is important. 3月1号，很简单的，就是呢，中国政府呢，打击错误的资料，因此呢，这个很重要。我们呢，从现在开始呢，不要再forward 我不知道假新闻的传送呀，很重要的，因为如果你回中国了，你可能被抓的。谢谢。
好，谢谢。那我们杨奇兴市议员也有话要说，有请。
So just one thing that I wanted to add on to what our mayor has said. We really, all 3 levels of governments have really done an amazing job. When you look at city of Markham or York region, not one case from China. When you think about it, the first case discovered was from Iran. So I just wanted to again, to commend the diligence of our Chinese community how we're so responsible, right? So we do our self-isolations without anybody to tell us to. And also, we actually send a lot of really good information, such as what the mayor was saying, that like just focus on our own personal hygienes, right? So those are really the steps that really protecting us. So I just, again, wanted to say thank you to the Chinese community. Again, leading with 0 case so far in your region from China. So I just wanted to say thank you for the great work that Chinese community has done.
Oh, okay, a question.
最近这个加拿大呢，就是频繁的这个出现